Hey, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
We are here. As you can see, we're in a hotel room.
Yeah.
Not on the bus.
Not on the bus. The bus was taken away for 4 hours to fix the generator.
Yeah, what do you got to do?
And so,
Here.
But check it out. So we're in the bus and it's a day off, and we have the comfort and the mentality of settling into that. When all of a sudden, and this is a new bus, people. This is the bus to replace the old bus.
yes.
Which is wonderful in every
So
way.
you're gonna think
Except,
everything's okay, but we've got a generator problem.
hello.
So I think we got like, I don't know, 10-minute, 15-minute notice. Everyone off the bus. Everyone out of here. We're going to take it for 4 hours. You're without it. You're without your food, your clothing, your comfort, your home.
And
They
look,
took it away from us.
a little bit, I mean, very little bit about it last night. I think our wonderful
I
bus
never
driver,
heard it.
we love Terry. You were asleep. Came and said, hey, by the way, lure tomorrow. And it's like, yeah, Terry.
Ron didn't even know about it.
He didn't, I mean,
I had to tell him.
nor.
Ron, he
No.
knows all.
He knows
And by the way, we're in Nashville.
Yes.
Yes, beautiful
We're going to
Nashville.
play the Ryman tomorrow night.
We're super excited.
We've been driving for 2 days through trees, basically. It seems trees. It's trees.
And we love the Ryman, y'all, because we did the Johnny Cash show there. So we have our own feels about it that
Yeah.
nobody else has. Me and Polly always just walk around going, I remember standing here. They're going, how? What else is going on? Hat being tilted.
Well, by the shock of today's episode, people, is that we do have a guest. I
We
guess
do.
we can.
Danny Kurtzman, an
Kurtzman.
old dear friend of mine,
Family friend.
has a brand new movie out called Good Bad Things.
Great
And
name.
you got to see this movie. I saw it, and I forgot it was Danny.
It's more than
And-
you think.
And it's Kurtzman, Kurtzman.
Yeah.
If you want to just, look him up while you're
It's
listening to us.
story,
It's an
ladies,
amazing.
get out your hankies.
Yeah.
It's pretty painful, man. And all of the women are going to go, whoa.
Yeah. So he's coming up in our next half hour, and it's going to be a fun visit with him for
Stick
sure.
around for that.
He's quite a character.
We have just finished 6 shows in a row. And the funny thing about that, people, is that at about show 3, it's like the third kid. Well, that was a jump. 2 was easy. But the third show is like, that's kind of 4th, 5th. By the 6th show, you give me 4 more. Right?
Yeah.
You can do 10, you can do 12.
He even said to us something like, okay, so are you, do you feel it's the 6th show? And I think Paul and I went, wait, where are we?
Yeah.
Like it didn't feel like he emotionally thought it would, frankly, when I heard about it.
Yeah, and the only reason we were excited about anything is that if we were to get a day off, we're more than happy to play and do shows. But boy, when we hear that day off, even after 6, but yeah, so Ron comes up to me and he goes, hey, so how did it feel? I go, what? And he goes, well, 6 shows in a row. I went, oh, did we just do 6? I don't know.
Which I guess means we're doing okay out here, guys, because we're old as dirt, as so many love to say, but Jim Yester started it, so let's give it props.
Yeah.
All right, gigs.
I swear, I did this, but someone asked me, how do you feel after 6? It wasn't around, and I did the same thing. Did we do 6?
Yeah.
And we were at the 6.
That's the good news,
It's
man.
incredible.
Yeah.
Wish we had every one of our band, our tribe here to say, okay, how do you feel after 6? Because we might get a varying degree
Right.
of answers. And
Well,
the constant state of denial
we
anyway.
can share this. We're in an auditorium, and Henry there's talking to me and Paul. And Henry books this Led Zeppelin, Get the Lead Out band, who work maybe 200 nights a year, are on stage for 3 hours, all musicians for 3 hours. The Happy Together tour, we're splitting it up amongst us because we're old. But think about 3 hours a night, every night for 200 shows, and you go, it's incredible. I mean, we did it as kids. We kept going. We kept going.
Sure.
We kept going.
Oh, yeah.
But
But
this is tribute stuff,
Yeah,
This isn't even
This is
even
Led
the
Zeppelin.
band itself, and so they've got to do a 3-hour show because they can't go in there and do like one album of the band that they're tributing. So these tributes, you do. But the tribute bands, they've got to come in with all the stuff and
Everything to be them.
and they do 200 shows, and thank God they do. They don't get paid like if there's a Cream tribute band. They're not getting paid what Cream made.
Correct.
They're way down on that pole.
But the good news is anybody, like Fleetwood Mac has a tribute band. Hey, they're still alive. Oh, forgot. Well, so, but the
Interesting.
people going to the tribute band can't afford Fleetwood Mac.
True.
So Fleetwood Mac gets their music
And
and
if you've got a
they're very
really
good.
beautiful one,
You can go find their music,
and
pay a decent price.
and supporting our constant tribal cry here out on HTT, which is that it is all about the
songs. Yeah, yeah. It's just the same thing. It's all about the songs. And that's why if somebody's out there doing it well and they're not actually the original people are gonna like that because they're hearing the record. They're hearing
because it's an interpretation of something. What gets you upset is if they suck. Then you're like, that's not fair.
So we're going to take some time today and go through our calendar. Now you can go to the Facebook page, you can go to Cowsills.com.
You can go to the kitchen and get some.
You can read this stuff, but people buy audiobooks for a reason. They don't want to read, and we're okay with that.
I love reading.
We're okay with that. For those who don't want to look things up, we do want to. The summers. We were talking last night. This month is going to blow right by us. I know it's only August 4th.
Yeah,
it's
fifth. We're going to be down to 1 week soon.
And you are looking, when you look at the Cowsills, you're looking at 3 bands in one. You've got the Cowsills, you got our trio show, and we have the Susan Cowsill band. Everybody's busy this winter. We'll take you through it. First gig after the summer tour is the Mardi Gras on the boardwalk.
Your home girl here.
September 3rd. Susan, who can't get enough of New Orleans and Mardi Gras, because we had the Mardi Gras and Havre de Grace last year.
It's like a New York Mardi Gras.
And when I hear about the Mardi Gras thing, I only think of food. I don't think of parades.
Because it's a beauty. You must have passed life.
I know.
There's a whole other area of Mardi Gras that nobody.
Nice 7 p.m. show. We're going to give you some details, folks. Nice 7 on the Boardwalk Classic Pop Star finale. The whole show is Tony Mark presents Mardi Gras on the Boardwalk Classic Pop Star finale. That's the star of the show. I think the show. Anyway, so that's that. That's full band. That's full band.
Do we leave the stage and then come back out as the pop star finale, or do we stay up there and go, surprise, we're the pop star finale?
Yeah,
I'm so confused.
In our show, what we're going to do is, instead of we all come out, only the principals. For instance, I'll come out first while the vamp's going on, then be joined by, and then Susan will join. Then we'll get out of there.
We'll have to do a run through it.
Dun, 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 once we come out, and then we'll roll into the finale.
You are a principal, Susan. You can do anything you want. Okay, now that's full band. Now we dismiss them immediately because we're going on 4 trio shows. Okay, and here it is, October 30th.
All right. Well, what about September?
Arlington Music Hall, September 10th. In Arlington, Texas. Okay, guys, it's the Arlington Music Hall.
I feel
7:30 p.m. show. I'm loving these times.
There's tickets available. So get them.
Yeah.
And you can go to our website. It tells you how to attend, how to get tickets. Okay. So that's September 10th. Now, October 30th, 31st, 1st, and 2nd. We're on Port Washington Library in Port Washington. Our second return there, by the way. We did that a number of years ago on October 30th. We're going to be Halloween on Times Square in New York City at the Iridium in New York City, 8:30 show. We have never been there.
Hang on now. The 31st is our first show.
No, the 30th.
Oh, 30th.
Port Washington Library on Long Island.
Okay.
I was fixing his calendar.
No, this is great. We're going through this. It's fun to do.
We're very casual.
And I know it makes me look down, not look at the camera, but I'm sorry, that's okay.
It's okay.
So anyway,
still see you.
So we skedaddle after Halloween to November 1st, the very next day at the Suffolk out on Long Island in Riverhead, New York.
Love Long Island.
That's our longest drive, maybe, I don't know. Back to Avenel, New Jersey at the Avenel Performing Arts Center, November 2nd. Be there. And then we wrap up things December 15th at our 3rd return to Tomball, Texas with the trio show. And that wraps up the year. However, January, we kick off with a bang.
Yep.
A New Orleans bang, because Susan's going on a cruise. Susan, tell them about your cruise in January.
Big Easy Cruise in January, featuring everyone from New Orleans. You're familiar with our themed cruises. We're on all of them, thankfully. Flower Power, Rock and Romance, Malt Shop, and now we bring you 3rd annual Big Easy Cruise. I, for the first time, will be representing my city alone in that solo thing he says I do sometimes by going out, and I have my own show on the big boat with all the hometown guys. So come out for that. I don't know the dates, or I would have been more prepared, but Google with Star Vista Big Easy Cruise. Thanks, Bob.
I think it's January in the middle of the month sometime. And for any fears, of the food, thinking you're going on a ship and all you're going to get is this food
Food
they eat.
here.
I want you to know there's a regular food for people that don't want to
There's Bob.
mass kill crawfish and then eat them.
Well, to Bob's
You
point, we have Chef Kevin. He is a local hero, and he is bringing on. And the first year we didn't. We just had regular cruise fare. I was just a guest on those 2 years, but Chef Kev has been brought on, and Kev is a big New Orleans chef. So we have that food. But as Bob points out, that buffet is the same buffet from Star Vista or whoever.
Yeah.
All the good morning, afternoon, and evening, our snackies.
So you get
pina
your roast beef, your mashed potatoes, and then you come to a big round thing of boiling water.
No.
And the guy's going to throw in live crawfish that you can kill and eat right away.
No, but not on the ship.
Oh, okay.
Well,
We're not getting out the cauldron on the ship, and
I thought that was part of the New Orleans experience, man.
Exactly conducive to sailing.
Okay, so that's what's going on there.
Thank you.
And Paul and I are on paid leave.
They're on paid leave. I do have them on retainer. Russ is going off, and he's going on.
Now here's big news. We do have a weekend in February. We have booked this Friday, February 20th, East Greenwich, Rhode Island, the Odeum, full band. The next day, February 21st, Saturday, the Cutting Room in New York City. We make our return finally to the Cutting Room in New York City for a fun weekend, a full band, and all the fun and stuff we have there. It's going to be so cool. So look up the Odeum, Odeum, if you want to look up, be there. East Greenwich, Rhode Island. Get the word out. Mama, come and see us. 8 p.m. shows, I think. Both of them, 8 p.m. shows. Okay, great.
I'm excited.
So that's February. Now March. We are a busy group. March. Around the 6th through the weekend of the 6th, 7th, 8th, we're going to be at Havre de Grace again for a fun weekend. We're going to have our Friday night thing, our show. I'm going to do a pub set. We're going to have little things. Just check with that. We're still doing that at the weekend at Havre de Grace. We can have
get treated.
Yep. Same thing as we did last year. So here we go. That's going to be a fun weekend. Then the Flower Power Cruise. Okay. Flower Power. Yeah. And then
when is that?
That's February 28th through April 4th, which pushes us into April.
Wait, March, you mean, or February?
February, March, April. March 28th to April 4th.
Okay. March 28th is the cruise.
What's our first March date, by the way?
March date, March 6th, 7th, 8th, that weekend in Havre de Grace.
And then
that's why we contacted you.
So we go on the cruise. We go on the cruise on the 28th.
28th.
Okay.
May, the Beetle, Abbey Road on the River. May, Saturday and a Sunday, full band.
What's the date?
May 23rd and May 24th of Saturday and Sunday.
Is what?
Jeffersonville, Indiana. Abbey Road on the River.
Abbey Road.
Yes.
And then the summer tour comes out as again. So there you have it all.
Okay, I need a nap, and then we'll come back with Danny.
Oh, and then May.
Is that great?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's very cool.
Probably right there. All right.
Okay, back to our friends who've been watching us filling calendars.
I got to get something. You guys talk up a storm.
Okay, so anyway, guys, we are in Nashville. We're going to be playing at the Ryman. We're going to see Bossy today. We're going to go see our boss who couldn't make it out this year.
Yes.
Just a couple of weeks before we were coming out, Mark Bowman was ready to rock. Came down with a nasty flu or something that messed him up, knocked him off his thing. He's feeling much better, but we've benched him. And so we're in Nashville, and Paul and Bob and I and Ray are going to go say hi to him. So
Hey.
report back next week on how Bossy is doing. That's a little.
Even take a picture.
I think we will.
So
might do a little clip.
We wanted to share a tour book with you. So just so you guys know, when we arrive on the leg of a tour, they give us a book. We each get this book. Okay.
We put our names on it.
Bob together. That's Bob's. Turtles, Jane the American, Little Anthony, Gary Puckett, the Bogues, the Cowsills. Here you go. Now, what we do is why they give it to us. At first, it gives you every city we're going to. So there's the whole itinerary, just in a quick, truncated way. Boom, boom, boom. And then you get everyone who works here. We're going to keep that secret because they don't want to hear from everybody. There's more people that work. See how many people it takes to do this tour? Okay. And then you get the Where Are You page. All right. Here you go.
The book of or the book of good information.
Because there's mistakes in here. Okay. This is so it tells you where you're going to be, and it tells you the order of the show and all that good news. And then we refer to this until we get mistakes, and then we go to
Oh, that
people and say, "What's this mistake?" And that's when you find out it's the book of lies.
in good intentions to make it more positive.
Yeah.
I did that. And I came up with that because I started not
Thank
liking
you.
it.
So this is,
Line.
and they're all different colors. We have 11
I
years
love
worth
the
of
pale
these
blue
books.
this
So
year.
I think I've kept all mine. I have 44. I have 44 tour books.
Yeah.
You keep them,
Do.
Yeah.
you keep them as souvenirs.
And I keep the lanyards.
And I keep them.
Wearing all mine then too. But what I do,
I keep
guys,
that.
is I dog leg them. I think we used to call ear
Oh, that's
something. I bend them, and so I know the day has passed. So when I open up, I'm not going. Wait, you know, it's kind of
Yeah,
fold and it
very
just brings
good.
me
And
Yeah.
little tips after 11 years. You learn.
So you hear this on the bus a lot. Hey, can I borrow your book?
Can I borrow your
Hey, can I
book?
borrow
Who's got a book? Can you see?
This book they want.
You know, we should leave a book out, but we do.
We do.
Because you're
We leave
guest
it
is
over there.
Yeah.
And it's just because you're sitting next to it.
Yeah.
They say, "Can you borrow the book?"
So rude.
So September. News of September is that during all of this, the Cocaine Drain album is going to bless the world with its presence.
This is
We're
whack.
going to be born finally in the way that we do our stuff.
it's a cool cover for the vinyl.
Yeah,
Well, I guess that would be on
it's cool.
CDs, right?
It's coming out vinyl and CD. Absolutely. So
You know, online, you can buy it there or get it from us at our shows.
yep, album and CD.
Unless we may or may not have answers
At
as
this point-
millenniums ago.
At this point, personally, in my life, I do call it the Susan Cowsills solo album. Me and Paul,
Not
John,
doing.
John did some demo work for us as a lead vocalist. Because again, me and Paul, yeah, you do it, because we were very young. I was 29, Paul was 27.
And all I did was
Susan was
sing. I couldn't
19.
play an instrument, never wrote a song. I hadn't done.
And we're writing in her mode, and we're getting songs from Wendy Waldman and that are for her.
I was even
And-
best vocalist at the Black. What is that?
Blackies,
Yes,
yeah,
for the year
you were.
1980.
It was on Pico, I think.
Yeah,
It was going
I
hard,
was-
right?
The year of
Dennis.
Blackies, just for like I don't know 82 when we were playing,
Huh.
just playing out, being the secrets.
Yeah, we didn't have our name for a while because we
Yeah,
were
I got
afraid of.
singer of the year in LA.
We were the
once.
Secrets.
Cool.
And then the Critics. We played at remember the Palomino?
The secrets.
Were we the Critics or the Secrets at Palomino when Jackson Brown?
He thought that was a great idea.
I'm sitting, yeah, we're the Critics?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and we're waiting to go on as the Critics. And like, we're just nothing, we're just living our life,
Yeah.
just still doing good. And Jackson Brown walks in.
Yeah.
And he swoops in fast, like famous people kind of have to do. And I got that. And he swooped in, but he sits right to my left.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm, hey, like that. Because she knows him more than me. So, and from that minute he sat down till I took the stage, Jackson Brown had a receiving line of people
Oh,
waiting one at a time to just say hi and give him respect and do whatever they're going to do with it.
right.
And I'm sitting there. Yeah, I'll never forget because I'm sitting. This guy's really big.
I asked him to come, and I would
It was great.
credibility.
And he was
somebody who
yeah.
famous would be there.
Well, he had been involved.
Oh
even
yeah, no, he was our
earlier
friend.
than that with Chuck.
To be
Clark,
honest,
Electro
let's
Asylum.
give on that little tidbit. To be
Yeah.
honest with you, the Cocaine Drain, meeting Chuck Plotkin, all of that happened.
Yeah.
Started with John Mayer. John Mayer talked to Jackson because he was his brother-in-law, and Jackson talked to Chuck about us. It was a family moment,
Yeah.
doing us a family solid. And honestly, if you think about
We
it,
waited a long time for Chuck, but we
Yeah.
hung in there and we
Yeah.
waited. We would reherse every day,
Every day.
8 hours a
cutest
day,
little kid you ever saw.
getting ready for the bus.
Boy.
The bus never stopped
I remember
until the
one
bus
day,
stopped.
at Earshot, I pulled up, we're going to rehearse like we do.
9 a.m.
And working
like
on
they
these
do.
songs for Cocaine Drain and all the time. We were real serious about it because it's like something new,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there was a Pathfinder or some kind of car like that in the driveway at Earshot that was way above our cars. And I just and I go in there and Jackson's at our rehearsal. It was the day Jackson Brown came to our rehearsal at Earshot.
What
And
is he doing?
just listening, he came in.
Brown came
Left-
to the rehearsal.
He certainly did.
Huh?
How could
Let's
you
see if he.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to.
This is Susan's friend. To me, this is Jackson Brown, the singer who's visiting us at Earshot.
Right.
Right.
Listen to a little bit of understanding. We're doing all kinds of songs.
Oh,
Right. Andy Gold.
Kenny Edwards, Andrew Gold stuff. Yeah.
helping us all. Yeah, I got
It was in the early rehearsal.
pictures of this myself himself, guys.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I did that.
That's how our memories are, but I won't forget that.
If we live long enough, this is how our memories are, friends.
Because I think Jackson is the guy who eventually got me an amplifier from his buddy David Lindley. Because
Sounds right.
I got
Oh,
that brother saying, yeah,
these
it had
nice
David
things.
Lindley
Man.
stenciled name on the
He did
case.
a lot.
You know.
He sent me
Yeah,
a talking.
Please amp. Right.
And we were supposed to be going out on a tour, and all of our stuff just got drowned. He sent me an amp and a guitar
Yeah.
to where he made it too. This is
Very
cool. Gonna make him come on so we can recount all these great
Well,
moments.
see, he was just your buddy. To us, he said, "She's God's Jackson Brown."
That's precious.
There's a big difference there.
I know. And boy, I'm getting excited because we got a buddy coming on and a heck of a story for you guys. I just know you're gonna love it with
You know,
Danny.
no, you want to set up Danny at all?
Well, we did a little bit of it.
More.
I went over to Danny's house. They lived in Fairbanks Ranch, in like Del Mar, and I went over to paint a room. Luann, my wife, was working for Danny's dad at American Fashion, Ezekiel, the Baron Roth. These were all the
LeBaron.
the garment district names for their companies, and so I was there, and I had met Danny when he was like 6 or 7. Me and him, we had to be in this room. They were having a big sales meeting for their company, and Danny was in his bedroom down below, and I didn't have anything to do with this company, so I went down and hung out with Danny, and boy, we had the greatest time. He was like in the Sesame Street.
6-year-old.
Yeah, and I was doing all the voices and stuff, and so man, me and Danny, we became dear friends right there. And now though, and time goes by and everybody's growing, and Danny and me are constantly in touch, but we have spaces of not being in touch and being in touch. And then we got in touch, and he said he's doing a movie, and it's called Good Bad Things. And I was thinking, man, what are you going to do in a movie? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And boy,
Sure.
he says it's not autobiographical. We're going to have to get him on this one. But it really is autobiographical in the sense that, he led his whole life. And this is the accumulation of everything that he'd been working.
And it's something that could have happened to him.
Yeah, or it did happen,
We'll find out.
for sure,
That's what he's gonna tell us.
but as he was young, during his young years, he had a great group of friends, man, and they were solid, and they were many, and
He's an amazing guy.
and Danny was always with the group, and he was the last guy to get in a scooter or a wheelchair. He wanted nothing to do with that, but eventually he was, and we're going to hear all about his movie today and how it came about, and
Now,
how he found the balls to do it.
Paul's been with this kid
Since
since
he
he
was
was so young.
Yeah.
And Paul, I mean, he used to carry him
Yes.
on his shoulder and
Yeah.
carry him around.
Carry him and
long
his
before
brother.
we was here. Okay, so years pass, and of course, I'm disassociated. Everyone's living their lives,
Right.
life out. And then I'll never forget, it was the Orange County Fair.
When
I'm
Danny
going to
rolled
see
up,
Danny after decades almost.
Yes.
And this kid comes in a hot rod wheelchair coming at us, just exuding confidence.
like a person would be walking
It's
toward you
Danny.
very
Right.
aggressively.
It's-
He comes in.
Yeah, it's Danny, and I'm gonna re-see him again, and you just feel how he thrived and how he evolved and how Jesus, man, you didn't stop at all.
Never.
He's
He
got
won't stop
a great
till it's
wheelchair, and it was like, hey,
Yeah. So involved with so many other organizations that he's kind of gone ahead and helped and brought his attitude in. And his attitude is crazy. I want to know how he's got this attitude going this long.
The story that's on Rhythm of the World was written for his brother. Can you just share that right now?
Oh yeah, so on
Goodbye is
on
not
Rhythm
forever.
of the World, Goodbye's Not Forever. It was a moment in our lives that I had to be leaving the kids. Danny was off to LMU, Loyola Marymount University. He was headed that way. Drew was headed into high school. And I just felt like, this old fart hanging around them all the time. I mean, I was at every party when they were kids. I was everywhere with them, and I would always felt a little awkward because, here's this old guy, hanging out with all these young guys and girls. And it was like, but man, they brought me in. They made me feel great. And boy, did they ever spoof me a lot. They really had their moments with me and tricking me. I didn't know there were like heaters in seats at the time, and they knew it, and so they'd always put my heater on in the 100 degrees weather in San Diego, and I would be sweating, looking around, going, man, it's really hot in here, and I'd look back and they'd be laughing and laughing. I found out
Drew or?
Oh no, Danny.
Oh, Danny.
Sure,
Drew's his brother, folks.
Okay.
his younger brother who's passed
And he
now.
wrote Goodbye Forever.
And I wrote that song for Drew actually because I had him. I was outside his school just hanging, waiting for him to come. And
You're fixing to tell him you were going to be there.
yeah. I had to tell him that. And I was looking through these branches, and the song just tumbled out.
That's how it happens.
It's an amazing,
Yeah.
it is one of the most amazing songs Paul has
Yeah,
written.
it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
And after you see
It's gut-wrenching.
it's
Yeah.
and then we'll listen to it and good luck.
Yeah.
Get your
Yeah.
hankies out, folks.
Well, people like, and I do the same thing. You always jump on, oh, it's a relationship song. Well, it is. It's a real twist.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it really.
Luann told me about a few friends that came up to her. Oh wow, did he write that about you? And she goes, no, he wrote it about a little boy.
But it's it could
Yeah.
be any
that he was taking care of. And
It'd be one of you.
I'm tripping because like now I'm living in Glendale and he's going in the Navy. So my source of protection is leaving the building. So I made it about me. And so that's the beauty of music.
Yeah.
And the fun thing about the recording of Goodbye's Not Forever was that at the end, see, he wrote it on a piano.
Yes.
I mean, we're all piano players in the terms of, I can accompany
I've written a
myself.
couple on piano, but I can't play.
John has, we all have.
I can't
And
play
so
mine.
Paul did this on piano. But for some reason, it was, I don't know, we never thought of it until the end for him to play the piano on the song. And so he was using the piano to show us something.
Yeah.
I think one of us said, why don't you just record?
Actually playing.
I think he did it in one take.
He did.
It was one take, and I had never played a grand piano.
He was playing
Gigantic. I was not just going through it. I have my own little piano. It's my Stanley acoustic. But I was going through that. Bob walks through and he goes, are you going to want to record that? I go, yeah. He goes, are you ready? I go, I'm ready. I went right in and I did it my way. And it was interesting because the track was, it was a great track. I mean, everything was going smooth,
So you got to
but
play.
I was missing what I had wrote. And that was just those, in the chorus, it just, banging that thing out. And it kind of created a different kind of thing in there. So it was nice. And it was up good in the mix. And I was hearing what I was after.
It's 3.00. It's 3:00 dance time. You can go. It's not like, people, this is family out here, by the way, just to show you how we have to, we didn't expect to be here clearly. So now you're seeing a lamp without the shade, what's going on behind these guys. This is a refrigerator, the room refrigerator with unplugged to sit Susan on right here. So everything's thawing out, but nothing's in it. We took the lampshades down because I had one. See the one above my head? Now you see it, don't you? The light bulb. Well, that had a lampshade on. It looked like I had a Tom Terrific hat on.
Yes.
And if you remember Tom Terrific, you remember that funnel he put on upside down on his head. I can't remember what that was all about, but that's what it looked like. So it stays a beautiful thing for you here in our hotel room.
Yes.
And,
unfortunately, we have a hotel room because otherwise we'd be outside doing this.
We would be doing this.
Because the bus is on its way to get
It was
fixed.
not out there. It's like, okay, goodbye.
Yeah.
I mean, anything can happen at any time, folks. Believe me. Bus fires remember last year? We had the bus fire.
Yes, yeah.
Guys are saying in there, I can only assume you heard everything that I was doing in there.
No, we couldn't hear it.
It seemed that
We tried to talk loud to block that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back.
Okay,
Danny.
it's 3.01 now.
This is Danny's
Now I have
Saturday night too, so we might, who knows?
I gotta start checking messages.
I love it.
Sometimes,
Checking. No, he's not calling you.
no, I'm checking if he says, hey, I'm trying to get in.
Right.
You are the baby.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Check.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Not on yet. I looked at the text.
Okay.
But he knows.
So he'll be
He
coming.
knows. He's a couple.
But man, you guys, we're going to reiterate a lot of this stuff when Danny's on, but you guys got to see this movie. I mean, look at it. I think you can rent it on Amazon, or I've got these things written down.
Can't believe I
We'll
missed
make
it.
sure we'll go through it.
It is a beautiful movie. It is so beautiful.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
And
But it's
pretty.
beautiful and it's edgy and it's sad and happy and funny. They call it what were they calling it in the press? Something. No, they ended it with MDY. So like a dramedy.
Gotcha.
a dramedy, like
Comedy.
The dramedy, that's
Yeah.
that word.
yeah,
I
yeah.
like that word. Yeah.
And I did too, because there was some
I
funny.
remember the first time I heard the phrase rom-com. I didn't know what they were
What is
talking
Oh,
about. A
romantic.
romantic comedy. I saw it. The first time I heard that said was in the commercial with all the Halloween characters were talking about. Oh, is it a rom-com? No.
Okay.
What's
I'm
that?
gonna call it rom-com from now.
Like example, Sleepless in Seattle is a rom-com.
You just
Yes.
watched that with Sydney the other night.
Yes.
Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah, with Sydney, like 2 nights ago. Russ.
Just pull that right out
Russ
of the air.
loves
You
rom-coms.
must put it in
Make
the air.
my life
Oh, really?
Oh God, yeah. He'll rom-com. He goes to the sensitive movies with me, and he doesn't need John Wick with him.
Just in case anything you know about our podcast episodes, anything can kind of
Anything can happen.
flip the situation, because of technology.
Mhm.
Hey, but
Technology.
we want to share something fun about Gary Puckett, okay? And to show where technology, it's never too late.
Oh, this is
And
good.
even Gary came to us and said, "You guys got to try this." And
Yeah.
it looked like cherry pie. And I said, "No, I can't do it." But so Gary decided, we have monitors at our feet in the old way. Gary decided to try the in-ear monitor.
Yeah.
And man, this man swears by him, you guys.
Well, I'll swear by it too.
It made him happy on stage. It made him excited, said because he hears himself so clear in the
And
band.
so he is killing it now.
His keys, he's hitting
Yeah.
all of them because he can hear himself.
The beautiful, and I think he's also using the vocal mist
Yes.
that Paul and I have recommended
vocal
to. And even non-struggling.
And if vocalist is out there listening, if you're one of our podcast
We
listeners,
would love nothing more than
would-
be your sponsor.
that's right.
Now.
Okay, so let me testimonial for you for a second on Vocal Mist. Okay. Every summer, I've been with these guys for 10 summers.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I mean, it happens, guys. Every summer, you're going to get the sore throat, you're going to get the this, you're going to get the that. Your whole family gets into the bus and you go through it.
Mess
You
it
go
up.
through it. Okay. Sounds like a commercial. Since Vocal Mist,
Yes.
that has not happened. Okay, I'm not going to say think that that's the only thing in the equation. Maybe we're having a healthy summer, but there's a difference here, folks.
Vocal mist does along
Users talk.
with hydrating your vocal cords is it kills bacteria. So if you have picked up a friend on your way to the cafeteria or in the bathroom, when we're on that twice a day,
Really?
it's killed the saline killing bacteria. That's why we're healthy.
It's like a salt water
It is salt
mixture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we are daily fighting bacteria that normally might have grabbed us. And then once what happens out here for me at 66, if I get a in there, if I don't have a day off or two, it's now I am perpetuating a thing that snowballs into a stressful summer for Susie. I'm not going to lie because I learned this use of steroids when I was a kid, but I was warned heavily by the aforementioned Jackson Brown that it is not cool at 18 to start using steroids for your vocals. But I had nodes. So I tried them when I was a kid and they took care of it. Out here on the road in the last 4 years for sure, I've brought them with me in case I get the crud because it'll knock it out. Anti-inflam.
Yeah.
Haven't had to use a product of chemical, a steroid, this whole time.
Yes.
And I would write that, but I could tell when something was coming. And then I'm like, why am I not getting this? I was sneezing for a while. I'm like, here it comes. And then I read about our thing, bacteria.
You can YouTube Vocal Mist and see it, but if you want to visualize it, it's like an inhaler that with a mist.
Yes, an atomizer.
And you just put it in there and let it go down.
And it coats your vocal cords with this saline solution, which takes the swelling down.
Which turns into the mist.
Because when you're hoarse or that's just your vocal cords all crapped up and they're just hitting each other in a bad way. Like they're just loaded with stuff.
Oh, Susan's got it.
It's empty, but hold on.
There it is.
Yeah, here it is, but she's empty because I did it this last night at about 4 a.m. Okay, it looks like a nebulizer, and it is in form, but the product and the little guy here, it's all about the back of your throat. And this sitting, picture saline solution, picture salt water that's allowed to stay there for a while and not just be drank down, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is a game changer. I do it in the morning. I do it at night.
I have a real high note where we go, say, can you see mine? That my is a really high. And after about a week, usually it becomes a crunchy kind of not so clear thing. And it's been clear every night
Every night.
for every night.
Even when we wake up
that.
not cool in the
Yeah.
morning.
And when we hit that note, man, me and Susan, we just look and go, yeah, wow, both.
And by the way, it also serves as a toy. Your child can get a hold of this and move that rocket ship right up to the launch pad.
Yeah, I got it
Right.
from room. Bob, he's in the waiting room. Been on for a bit. Laugh out loud. Says you're in
I have a
meeting.
waiting room.
Oh,
I used the link Bob sent.
oh boy, I'm
Yeah.
glad we looked. And anyway, it was important to get
All
this.
right, hold on. I got to go see if there's a waiting room now.
Hang on, Danny.
Ladies and gentlemen, to all of our listeners, we have Danny Kurtzman, who is an actor, a famous actor in our lives anyway,
Yes.
because what this guy pulled off with the good, bad things. I love that title. We'll get into that. But this is Danny, and he's our guest today. He's a good friend of Paul's.
He's
To tell you
also
all
one of
about
our
that.
kids.
We've set some of this up, Danny. We've been talking about you, okay? I'm talking a lot about you. But this is a actor, writer,
Yes.
entrepreneur,
Yes.
advocate. Are we done with all those?
Cutie
I
Is
think
that
pie.
everything?
I think that's enough titles for this podcast. Yeah,
Okay.
Take
and
it
just
away.
and just a homie. Honestly, like that's the biggest thing. You guys are family. You know me my whole life, and that's special in itself. And I love you guys, and thanks for having me.
We love
Well,
you.
great to see you, Danny.
Yeah.
We go back a long ways, buddy. I think me and you met when you were either 6 or 7, honestly, and I was there just painting a room in your house. And Luann, my wife, who sends her love to you, was working for Danny's dad at American Fashion, or actually LeBaron Roth at
LeBaron.
the beginning, and then Ezekiel, and then American and Fashion. And so Stephen was going, hey, a painter. And she goes, yeah, my husband's a painter. So I went there to paint a room, and I think I painted that room and never left for like 3 years. It was pretty wild. You were now 9 or 10, and the muscular dystrophy now had just started coming into your life. I mean, when I met you, everything was cool, and then about 9 years old, this whole deal starts coming down. And who told you? How did you find out?
Oh, we're gonna unpack this. I don't even truly. I kind of remember it, but it was like I was falling a little bit around 9 and stuff when I was playing baseball, like you remember, and just like my just like just physical abilities weren't as I guess functioning as all the other kids that everyone was looking at. And back then, that's like well, I'm like, that's 96, so like that's still really early on in what people visually saw with disabilities and stuff like that. So my mom's like, oh, yeah, I get these kids checked. And so she took Drew and I into one of the hospitals in San Diego, and they diagnosed us with FSHD, which is a type of muscular dystrophy, both Drew and I at the same time. And the rest is history. I feel like we like, it actually is like the beginning of an amazing adventure and all amazing stuff. And that's kind of where I am today with it all, with good, bad things and advocating not just for muscular dystrophy or just FSHT, but all disabled people. And yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful fucking thing.
It's funny because you were, man. I remember coming in one time and I go, all right, guys, we're going to get scooters and we're going to get wheelchairs and they're going to have motors and you're going to really love them. And man, Danny looks at me and he goes, no fucking way am I going to
Dude,
get in any of that.
yeah, dude, I honestly have been thinking about that so much lately, Paul. It's so crazy because, yeah, and that's literally my brand now. You watch the movie Good Bad Things, like, we as a society, like, and especially like even older individuals, as you get older and less limitations, physical limitations, like, we look at that chair, power our manual, and we're like, no, like, fuck that. That's gonna make me weaker and lesser. And you wanna know what I found out, Paul? None of that's true. Like I should have just said yes because I said no, not because of me. I said no because I thought I was going to get treated differently or looked at differently. And that's all bullshit. And honestly, like, it wasn't for you, Paul, being in my life that, like, we're able to carry Drew and I and just, like, oh, and do everything, honestly, that we wanted to do. Like, we would have really limited our independence and what our experiences are on the planet. And that, like, yeah, thank God for you and my parents, like, having you in our lives. Like, I probably wouldn't have had the crazy adventurous childhood that I could have had because I was stubborn and said no to the chair, and now I am in a chair and it only like allows me to do endless amounts of things, not limits me. And I really don't give a shit what people think about me because they can go and up.
Real. And it was interesting, Danny, both you and Drew, you guys were just, I mean, nothing was going to stop you guys from having fun and and your mom, we got to give it to her that she made sure that you guys were inside of everything.
Well,
And
they brought you to them and
yeah,
to
Yeah,
me because I was a kid too. I knew you, I knew what was going on. And he was one of my people too. So bringing Paul to y'all, that was a game changer. It can change your life if you got a challenge going on and you're thinking at that age you might not make it. He's a pretty good guy to get you out.
dude, and that yeah, in that mid-90s, like that's like this really wasn't really something people knew, and like yeah, very beyond grateful. Just like that's the way we did it. We like saw something that needed a solution to a degree to allow us to live the endless lives as childs that we wanted to do, and that was Paul being in our lives, like just open, opening up all
You
the
guys did he
possibilities.
sorry,
yeah,
Dan. Which one of
Yeah,
you guys did he throw in the water?
Drew,
true.
sixth grade camp.
Yeah,
The only way we could get in the
I
kayak
drew.
is if Drew could jump off the end of the pier. So I went to the end of the pier and just threw him in there and then jumped in. I told him, I'll be right in, buddy. You can count on me. And we
Dude,
got
we
to
were in
kayak
the
that whole thing. So Danny, so I just remember, and so now we're going into, we're years into this now, a couple of years, and your group of friends with Shane Stanger, who did this with you, and we're going to get into that. But he was a little kid as well, and all you guys, it was a tight group, and from my perspective, it looked like love to me. I mean, everybody loved you guys, and it was all about, I didn't feel like anybody that was hanging out with you was not feeling bad for you. They were just loving you and loving who you were, which is the guy in Good Bad Things. So many years later, it just seemed like a perfect connection. You go to LMU, Loyola Marymount, and you're still, you were always the guy that was going to push forward. We're going to push forward. It's okay. Whatever is dogging us, we'll deal with that. But let's just get to the high ground.
absolutely. Yeah.
That.
I mean,
So
my bench group's just like, yeah, you knew me when I was 9, and starting at 9 years old. I feel like some of those 9-year-old friends I still have at 38. That's 30 years later. I'm still like rolling with those guys, and that's like pretty special. That even Shane, I just got to make this like some really awesome movie with him at 35 years old, and we tell our story, and that's so cool.
the first thing I remember when I met Shane, I looked right at him. I go, dude, I love you. And he's looking at me, and I go, well, because my oldest boy's named Shane. So I love him. I got to be loving you. And
Listen,
Can I ask the
yeah,
question? Dude, I just want to know. Obviously, the idea for this movie came from, our current lives with the dating thing and the apps. When did, how the, yeah. Go ahead.
yeah. How the heck did you?
How would
So
you decide, I'm gonna write about this life?
great, great question. I honestly had no plan on doing this whatsoever. I joined the family business, like where Paul's wife Luann was at for many years. I was doing fashion for 15 years since I graduated at LMU. Shane was going to the Stark program at USC, which is the film grad school at USC, and he's just a very hungry and patient individual. And he wanted to do a feature while still at grad school, which I
before we
found out
graduate,
later. Which I found out later really has never truly been done at the START program. Like the closest thing to something like that would have
Smart
been
boy.
Napoleon Dynamite, which was written, and I think a short version of that was done at the START program, but of course went on to be this tremendously successful film. And Shane just wanted to do it, so he called me up, and I had done a short with Shane, but Shane got COVID during the short, so I ended up like having to do it kind of without him. He was like on Zoom trying to direct this short with I'm like naked in bed with a bunch of strangers. That was the topic of the film. And so, but like fast forward 6 months from there, Shane's like, I want to do a feature. I was like, I've never really act Shane other than that little short, which I didn't really act. I was literally just naked in bed. And and he's like, "Well, I got you." And I was like, "I've never written a film." He's like, "I got you." And we just sat down and we just like together put our heads together and wrote a script in 4 to 6 weeks. And then
Danny,
yeah.
the first, but so you guys are going to do this, and you had somebody independent of the both of you to write a script.
We actually Shane went and hired a writer that knew nothing of Shane or me or anything. It was just like, do you write a script with a disability in it? And we got it, and it was so off tone and ableist and gross that Shane and I were like, no, 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 no. We either don't do
Like
this.
a documentary the first
Yes.
Can
time.
I ask something? So when you use, excuse me, when you use the word ableist, so that first script was too ableist. Would you let the people know what you meant by that? Like,
Good,
what's an
good.
example of that?
An ableist is just looking at someone with a disability or someone with limitations in their abilities, whether it's mental or physical, in a discriminatory downward way, as like a deficit or negativity or, having to like overcomes obstacles that are only benefiting the emotions of able-bodied people. So it's an ism towards disability, just like racism and sexism and all that stuff. And ableism, I actually did not know of that term till the last 5 to 10 years in my life, and I've lived with a disability since I was 9 years old. And so it is like somewhat of a newer thing that people are learning about and need to know more of because it crazy enough happens all the time and it's going to continue to happen and we're going to see it happen as the baby boomers get older and not, like I said, not want to get assistive devices and not be looked at a certain way. That is ableism. That's looking at those things as a lesser of human being, a
Yeah.
negative aspect.
Limiting.
Then and
Yeah.
that is not true. So that is discrimination for an ability that is
So you're
should
reading this script and going through it and going, this is not gonna fly.
Oh my God.
no,
Yeah,
no,
I
no,
can't
no, no.
imagine it.
It
Yeah.
was like the slapstick comedy that just the jokes the jokes didn't land. Like you're on like a stage of a stand-up comedy store, like they could have worked, but like on a feature film going into Hollywood with everything that's going on in these 2020s, like no way can you bring this film out to light because we would have got obliterated. So no, so then Shane and I just sat there and we're like, we could do this. I think we should try and tell our story because at the end of the day, you just want to be yourself to the fullest degree, and the only thing you know better than anything is
Yeah.
you. And so
Yeah.
we're like, let's just tell us, and we did
We
that with the
had
past.
flies are free back in the day. Okay. These were, disabled people and their story. And also butterflies are free. And then I'm born on the 4th of July. Those were kind of like,
I saw that.
they're just kind of, gray. They're
Oh, it's all about the gothic horror of this moment and what
right.
in God's name will one do,
And what
right?
you guys did, yeah, what you guys did with Good Bad
Yeah.
Things was it just was so truthful. It was, it was the love of Shane, but I see Shane as Jason, right? Was that your partner
Yeah, Jason.
in the
Yes.
movie?
Yeah.
I see a lot of Shane in there, because all of Danny's friends for many years always were going, "Oh, dude, you can do this. We can do this. Oh, we're going to go here. Well, I might not, but yeah, no, we're going to do these things." And all your friends were in on it. I mean, they were ready to be there for you. All the poker games we played, and I got a sore. My back almost had an operation because I was their dealer, and so, but they had the huge poker table, and we got deep into that, and I just, I did just that group of guys, and girls, the most beautiful girls at Torrey Pines High were always at your house,
Look at
and
him.
yeah, yeah. And but do you think just was that able to help you tell the truth at the end, just knowing these people would be there, open-minded for you? Did that have anything to do with your your
Willingness, ability.
victory, your victory in the end of things here.
Oh yeah, I owe a lot to the people I've been grateful to surround myself with in my life, and like I think that's like the beauty of disability that people kind of not talk about so much because disabled love just allows you to have such a tremendous amount in all different shapes or form that we don't really usually align or attach itself to love. You know, we look at love as this like heterosexual male and female thing, obviously that has transformed in the most recent years, which is beautiful. But I think specifically disabled love allows you to have the love of friendship and the love of individuals in your life because you just connect and experience things in such a more
Sense. It's another
intimate way.
sense you're
Like
giving them.
my love I have for Paul is something that like you don't experience that no one does because of what we've been able to experience with each other and how he's been there for me and vice versa, how I've been there for him. It's always a two-way street. And
Absolutely.
that's something that like I want to work on with especially the disabled community so much like we kind of want it just we want it one direction sometimes but it's a two-way street. You got to be just as much a partner in that relationship as much as you're getting back and I feel like I've luckily enough been born with that in the hair on my shoulders but yeah it's just like a really cool thing that you get to have and they're not your typical type of love you just have these deep, deep love stories
I
with
have a
people.
question back to the movie.
Yep.
So you got the script you like, and now you're happy with the script. I want to know, did they suggest how did it come that you're now going to be an actor? Mr. I can do anything is now going to be an actor. And did you come up with that? Did they say you're going to act this out? And did you just go in at no second thoughts at all? I can act.
I was scared out of my mind for sure. Like, definitely, like, did not think I could. Like, that's a full. I'm in every scene. It's a
Yeah.
hundred. It's like 100 pages. I had some long monologues in there. A lot of this stuff we were rewriting like the day before. Um, And like, yeah, Shane put me around a great supporting cast that made me feel comfortable. Supporting cast are everything. So like, it's not so much about the dialogue you're seeing, it's about the we're supporting ever
You
across the
doing that,
screen.
Danny, like
Yeah,
brought like everything to it. You being the guy that you're talking
Yeah,
about. It's like the reality of it. I cannot even talk to you about it. It's
that's my
too hard. I'm a chick. It's a rom-com. I mean, the romance about this movie is unpredictable when you're heading in.
yeah.
And then I'm just left like, oh my, it's just a beautiful love story.
And you know me my whole life, so like it's crazy. It's crazy to see the reactions that you get from it because the first 15 minutes of the movie, I'm not saying it's like uncomfortable, but like you don't know me as like outside the movie. You're starting to like, you gotta get comfortable with me and like, who the hell is Danny and like, what's he going through? Shane did a beautiful
Dude,
job. It's like,
it's not
it's
just
my least favorite part of the movie, the first 15 minutes, because it's just like, it's a little slow. I'm gonna just slower, that's like it's a little slow, but the way Shane made it slow is so perfect because it doesn't throw you in and make you feel comfortable. You get really like easily drawn into my character and be like,
you
okay,
do.
I like this guy. I can
You
like
don't
this
have to know you, Dan. You don't. I started forgetting it was you and I'm watching and I'm like, this is so beautiful. It was like, I really I mean that. I like, I don't know.
And by the way, to go back to answer your question on the other thing too, like, yeah, I was scared, but there was this individual that was on this show called Rami. His name's Steve Way. And so, as again, we don't have lots of like on-screen representation. Um, and so Steve also has a muscular dystrophy, and he's in this show Rami. And seeing Steve in this show, like, I was like, dude, I have a chance, like if this guy, maybe I can do this, like this could work, and the cool thing is then Steve ended up coming on as like a producer because I reached out to him via Instagram and now he's like my closest friend. He's coming over here to
Oh,
do
that's
this
Steve
work.
Way, right?
Anyway, I did that short with him that I sent you, Paul. That's on YouTube. And yeah, just like again, it's this whole big thing that we're trying to build here. More on-screen representation. You see more of us, so you can see what's actually possible. Because in society and specifically media, you don't see enough of us told in the right way. And thank God for Steve on that show around me because I don't think I would have brought in the confidence to pull out that role that I was thankfully able to do.
I could
Yeah,
really
yeah.
on it.
And so you decide, so you and Shane are going to write this thing now. Okay. And so were you ever into like the writing and just looked at Shane and went, no, 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 that ain't happening.
Oh yeah, plenty of time. We like are like that could land a little, and you have to worry about those things, unfortunately. But like everything we put in there was the truth. It was authentic, and like that's usually what happened when we had those feelings where they weren't the most authentic parts of the movie, and then we just went back to what we knew and put it in there. And again, we're a first time director, first time actor, like doing this, with putting our money where our mouth was. So like just leaning into what we know, and it was a risk. It still is a huge risk, and thankfully, Shane's what we call like one of those cool golden gooses. Like where everything he does turns to gold, and I will do anything Shane ever tells me to do because he's one of those lucky motherfuckers.
Man,
Right on, right on.
it's your wagon.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
So Good Bad Things is on Hulu, right? Hulu.
Yeah, so Good Bad Things
Where else?
became available for renting and purchasing. It's on every platform, specifically Apple,
You
Amazon,
can rent and purchase. Okay.
Vimeo, YouTube. You can rent it or buy it, and then if you have Hulu or Disney Plus, you can watch stream Good Bad Things.
You
In
go.
the United States, and
Good
yeah, just
job.
really
And
proud of.
Danny, how did you guys, and was it Shane or you guys just, making cold calls? You got 50 AMC theaters all across the United States to play your film on a particular night. How did that happen?
It's crazy. Yeah, not many movies are going to theaters anymore. It's just something that we are like, we have this like, I want to do it. And we found another one of our disabled community members, Annalisa Shoemaker. She was at Amazon Pictures for many, many years, and she now has her own consulting gig that deals with like the early distribution models for specifically what she likes to do champion, which are disabled films, and she of course, loved our movie and had a relationship over at AMC. And like, yeah, who helps, but it also helps to have a movie that they actually liked. And so, yeah, we
The
got
audition, once you get in the door.
yeah,
Well,
we
that
got
sounds
50.
great. So what's
It
the future? Are you looking for a bigger theatrical release or what's the goal?
Good Bad Things, I think, is just it's out in the world for people to enjoy forever now. We will like continue to open up international distribution as things kind of progress, and then when Hulu is had its time with it, we will either extend with Hulu or find another streamer that wants us. But it's just like there's not too many disabled films that tell that kind of story, like Good Bad Things, and I don't know many that are coming out. A lot of beautiful documentaries, but in terms of like a narrative feature, it's just really hard right now. Hollywood's going through a crazy revamp, and lots of things aren't being greenlit the way it should, and they're having to button up a lot more stuff. So I don't know how many are going to come out, but hopefully this movie, when people want that disabled themed, beautiful, powerful story, they go to Good Bad Things. So we'll let that grow, and then I'm in New
Love
York right now.
beautiful and horrible.
Yeah, I'm in New York trying to make more types of Good Bad Things. Whether it's like a play or a show pilot or another feature,
Yeah.
documentary
Man, you
series.
ever thought of
Do it.
writing a book?
We'll see. Yeah, a
I
book's
used to think about what a great reality show, the whole thing that we all did while you were growing up. Imagine
Your
that
path,
thing.
your area.
Yeah, it would, the good bad things is one element of your life that is like incredible, and but there's so many other elements to your life that are also incredible.
Yeah, it's well, you were like early days in what we in the community call like a PCA, and personal care assistant. You were like early days of what we want for a PCA. Someone that like equals out your energy, brings out a positive vibe every single day with you, and allows you to just like enjoy life to the fullest because we need someone to be a part of that journey. And you want someone that just like lights you up with you and that's what you were with Drew and I for our early ages, and like
The
that's what
story, you guys.
to seek every single day, with my assistants that I have is like I want that partner in crime that like is I'm stoked to be with for the time that we're together, and also they're stoked to be with me. And I think that's what we try to look for in disabled community love because it's a huge part of us and how we live.
Absolutely, man.
I'll tell you something, Danny. Drew would have been so proud of this whole deal, man. He might have even been in it with you,
He
if he was with
was,
us,
Yeah.
but
he
he
was
would certainly
definitely.
have given you an attaboy.
There's a scene that you guys definitely know of in the movie that like he's in that scene. You definitely gotta be there. It's a gnarly scene. I couldn't have got there without him. Definitely took me like hours and hours of prepping, and I
Oh,
just
wow.
had my cousin and I sound drill and I rolled out into that shot and I pulled that shot out and he was there with me and I'm pretty sure that scene right there is what like really swung a lot of people in that movie. First and foremost is what's got me the Christopher Reeves acting award last year because that was a hell of a scene. I don't know if I can pull. I'm gonna try and pull that type of scene off again in my career, but that was a big one for me.
Drew was almost like the older brother, he had that
That's
kind
what
of
I asked too.
his wisdom and just everything,
Yeah,
was
you other that just
crazy,
grants
crazy.
Cody
Danny.
stud.
So Danny, so you did the movie and now you get to slam dance, okay? And in my opinion, you got the two best awards, and that was the audience award, and but more important, even the jury award. I mean, I can't imagine, man, it just had to be pretty cool to get those awards and see some, like some people can do it and they never mentioned again, but you really hit all the notes, you were at other eight other places too.
You guys get when you make an album, you're like you share with like your close friends and things like that. And everyone's like, this is really good, guys." But you're like still like you're not sold. You're like, it's good, but like I still want to like hear a little more. Cause like, how many people are really gonna like it? So that was the world premiere at Slam Dance, and like, yeah, I was knots in my stomach, sweating during that whole thing. Like, do we really make something good? And I had no idea we were gonna win both those awards, let alone one of them.
A
And
great feeling for you and Shane to be together and accomplish. Look at, I mean, shit. Yeah, we
Yeah,
wrote
that's
this. This
big
is
deal.
one.
And
That's so big, and for
give me
Shane
chills.
to still be there with you, and just the good, the true friend that he always was, even during the highs and lows, and you guys got to do this was something else.
oh yeah, when they called their name and we were just like, I was just looked at Shane. I was like, what the heck? Like, how is this happening? My dad was there too. It was. We're in Park City. You're at Sundance. Like, Slam Dance is like the indie festival of like one of the true OG indie festivals, and to do
Yeah,
that with them first time direct.
huge. Yeah,
Uh,
that's crazy.
in a room full of very talented, hardworking indie filmmakers, and you're just like
Hmm.
getting to have
Yeah.
their
It's
meetings is really
amazing.
special.
Deserve it, man.
Coolio.
Yeah, it meets you where you are. If you ask me.
And your whole life, however you parlayed your life, brought you right to this scene and to this movie, and that you were had the balls to to go naked, brother. Let's say it like it is. Well, when I asked Danny before I saw it, I go, "Am I going to see you naked?" He said, "Yep." I went, "Oh
Rock.
Yeah,
no."
Shannon unfortunately cut out more of the naked than we had in there originally, but yeah, I guess that's just like gonna be in my so-called writer and everything that I'm just naked in all my movies. But why not?
I don't care, man. That is a love story and a half. And
Yeah,
you are a phenomenal leading man.
I don't think you're done, Danny. So listen. So I mean, I know we've talked, and you might have an agent.
I actually was with a manager for a bit. We just parted ways again. Going back to Hollywood's a little bit of a chaotic mess at the moment. But yeah, I mean, you know me my whole life, Paul. I don't really like settle, and I'm always like hungry to go figure out what's next. And so, majority of
Don't put up with any bullshit though, Danny.
yeah, the opportunities that will come my way, I'm gonna be going after myself as a solo representative of my career. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, this is the Hulu just happened in May. You know, look at all these crazy stuff
And
that's
you did the
happening.
Christopher Reeves Award.
Yeah, that was last year. That was it. I got the Media
Dude.
Muse Award, Superman.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, right. But wow, yeah. So you're gonna keep going in this vein for a while, right?
Yeah, you know, it's gonna be some form of art, specifically with like
Oh boy.
Yeah.
TV film and possibly a play or whatever
Really
document.
need to. It's important stuff to leave to for legacies of people and to and you know
You-
to keep learning.
And you're also bringing, yeah, you can do it to your whole community. I
Hugely.
mean, like this is a very edgy movie. I mean, it is funny at times and it's really sad at times, but man, it can get really edgy feeling your angst in this movie.
Yeah, because you know all the representations we see of disability are written by disabled people. Some like 99.9% of the stories are not true. So then disabled people, whether they become disabled or born disabled, diagnosed with disabled, to look at these examples as truth. So they live into these false truths their whole lives. And that's why Good Bad Things is a real deal. It's an authentic story. And that's basically like through all the different type of art forms I'm tackling, I'm trying to rewrite the story what it means to be disabled today, so that people can really know the truth versus live into these false truths that our
God,
society and
Dan.
media has built over and over. That if we become disabled, we are lesser, weaker, deficit, incapable of so many things, which at the end of the day is so deeply not fucking true.
Yeah. Amen.
And disability is a
And with
superpower.
that,
Yeah, and with that.
Well, you're a great person for your community, dude. And you put yourself into a spot that, believable. You can listen to this guy. Look what he did. I mean,
And it's right
you
now.
cross a lot of barriers for a lot of people, I bet, just as they're sitting at home.
We're not biased.
check it out, everybody. Okay, Kurtzman. I didn't want to misspell it because you can find them quick, man.
You're all over
I
the
know.
place.
I know. I was thinking the other day, and they're like, I googled you, and I was like, oh, I forgot I can be Googled now.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Dude, I love that.
There was reading about you. You got a lot of stuff out there.
Pretty
It's good.
amazing. I'm gonna deep
Thank
dive
you.
later.
I love you guys. I love our Tuesday.
So much.
Thanks for coming on with us, brother.
Oh yeah,
Sorry
that's
we
so
put you
good
in
to
that
see
waiting
beautiful
room. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
He does.
so good
He
to
wasn't
see you the other
surprised.
week. Yeah, that show. I didn't get to see you guys at the end of it. I saw Susan and Paul, but Bob, that you guys killed it. That was so awesome in Anaheim. Like
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Thank
you
you,
were
buddy.
up, just like dancing and stuff. Like every show you all do is the absolute best. And yeah,
Thank
we're
you for that validation, son.
All
Yeah.
right, check out Good Things.
It does. It
Great,
does.
great name.
Peace
Great
out,
name.
little brother.
All right, take it
See
easy.
ya.
love you. Bye.
Bye.